I thought I would focus on the 4 processes of vocal production. And I'm just gonna have a seat because I don't think I need to crouch this whole time. So, and I just need to, you can all see that, right? Perfect, great. So we're gonna start with breathing, but before we do any of that, I do actually just wanna start with some stretches. It's really important to make sure that we release any tension. So let's just give some rotation to our shoulders. Okay, go one direction and then change it and go in the other direction. Nice big circles. Okay, take your shoulders up to your ears, feel the tension, and then release them. Shoulders up to your ears, feel the tension, and release. And one more time. Shoulders up to your ears and release. Now, if you're sitting, you can do this next exercise. Sorry, I'm trying to move my chair here. By using your hand, you're going to kind of put your hand down like this. You're going to create a bit of a stretch. And while you're doing that with one hand, what you're going to do with your other hand is grab your neck, and you're just going to feel the stretch in your neck. It's just gentle. Shouldn't be too much pain. Hold that for a couple seconds. Make sure while you're doing all of this that you are breathing. Okay, release that side, and you are gonna go to the other side. So release that tension. Give a nice stretch in the shoulder and the neck. Oh, so good for singing, getting rid of all of that. And release. Let's just do a couple gentle head rolls. Gentle head rolls, and go the other way. Oh, crick, crick, crick is what I hear. I don't know if you hear it. Well, you can't hear it on me, but all right. And then the last one we're gonna do is if you take the bottom lip and you put it over your top lip like this, and then we're gonna look up to the sky. That'll give you a nice long stretch in the front here. All right, and bring that back down and release. Okay, so hopefully we've got your neck stretched out, we've got shoulders stretched out, and so what we're gonna start with breathing is actually posture. So I have this picture of the lady sitting because I know a lot of us are probably sitting this morning. If you can stand, that's awesome too. But I know with computers and wanting to be able to see closely, we tend to want to sit and be like this. So I have the picture of the lady. So you can see the one lady, she's kind of slumped and in a comfortable position, right? Not really caring too much. And the other lady has her feet are planted. You should have your feet, some separation in your feet, right? You want to make sure that you are sitting up nice and straight. So we want to make sure that we get our ribs off of our waist, okay? Because we need to make sure that we have that expansion in our ribs, right? So you want to make sure that the shoulders are rolled back. Now, we never want to create any tension. So if you're rolling them back too much, then you're going to feel that there's a pull. You don't want that. You just want it to be relaxed, okay? You can get your chin parallel to the floor. And a good way of doing that is making sure you elongate the back of the neck. Now, you don't want to tuck your chin like this, okay? But you do want to feel that elongation in the back area of your neck, all right? And you also don't want to lead with your chin. A lot of us like to sing with our chins in the air, all right? We think we're being so emotional. So we want to make sure that we have just got that tucked in, the elongation, and again, the chest is lifted, okay? If you are standing, you want to make sure that your joints are also flexible. So you have a little bend in your knees. With your feet, I would say, try to get your weight a little bit more forward, activate your kind of hydraulic system, all right? You want to make sure the pelvis is also loose, all right? And then that whole same lifted upper body. Okay, so we are going to, now that we are so well postured for singing, we're going to look at breathing. So breathing exercises improve the support of your voice, okay? It's going to give you more control, shape, texture, and tone, which is amazing because all of those things this isn't linked to singing, this is linked to breathing. So proper breathing also protects your vocal cords, and it allows you to sing for a lot longer if you are producing properly made sounds. So we want to make sure we're doing that. And breathing exercises, although we sometimes are like, yeah, breathing, it is the key. You got to do it. All right. If you want to be a better singer, spend, like I would say, spend 70% of your time on breathing exercises and getting that support engaged and knowing what that feels like. Because the second you start singing any of your songs or doing anything else that takes your attention away from your breathing and you haven't mastered that skill, then you are going to end up losing that, right? And then you're going to have to work backwards. So here we go. We're just going to take some relaxation breaths. Now, if you're sitting down, you can actually put your hand, I said, over your belly button or in your stomach area. We just want to make sure that the diaphragm, which is a thin layer that sits underneath your lungs. Normally, it kind of sits in this relaxed position. And as we take a deep breath in, it goes and pushes down, and it actually creates that support that we need. All right, so that's your diaphragm. We want to make sure that that's engaged. So what we're going to do is you're going to just take a nice deep breath, expanding your ribs. Make sure your shoulders stay pretty stationary. We don't want them to move. And then you're going to pause after you've inhaled for 4. And then when you exhale, we're going to exhale warm air. So it's going to be like if you're fogging up. I don't care how long you exhale for. I don't care how long you inhale for. I just want you to hold at the top for 4 and before you exhale. When you suspend for 4, make sure there's no tension in your body. So if you take a deep breath in and hold, don't hold. You don't want to create that tension, right? So you take that deep breath in, keep everything relaxed, and then so here we go. It's your turn. Deep breath in. And do that again. And one more time. Deep breath in through your nose. All right, good. So that's just a nice relax, right? You want to make sure everything's tension-free, flexible, and easy to move. And that's that warm air is what we want when we are singing. So it's good to get in that habit of doing that right off the bat. Now, panting is a really good way for us to work our diaphragm. Now, the thing about this exercise is it's not the muscles that are, you're not pulling your stomach in. You're not going and trying to pull your stomach in, okay? It's not the muscles that create it. It is the diaphragm. So let me get up here. So if you have your hands on your stomach area and you're going to pant, you can see I have movement here. This is my diaphragm at work. This is not me pulling in my muscles. There's no tension, there's no force, it's not violent. It's just a pant. And you can feel while you're panting, you should be able to feel the freedom in your neck and in your mouth, everything. It's like the air just drops in, right? So you want to do that, and you, like I said, don't have it be the muscles. Don't force it. But that's a really good way for you to know that you're working your diaphragm, and that's how the diaphragm needs to work when you are singing. Okay, so this next breathing exercise we're going to do is on a hiss. It's going to be a high-pitched hiss, so it's going to be, and if you can see, my teeth are pretty close together. I'm not clenching my teeth, but my teeth are closed, and it's my tongue that ends up being the control for the hiss, all right? And I've put this little example of the S. Now this first S, it just capitalized by automatic. It's not supposed to be. So what this is representing to you is that steady stream of air. rather than the next one that has the small S's, then the big S's, and the small S's. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes we go, right? And that pulsing, that's not creating that exercise of that muscle that you are trying to do, which creates the support when we're singing. So you want to make sure that that is consistent. So make sure your tongue is engaged, your teeth are together, okay? You're gonna take a deep breath in and high-pitched hiss. I could keep hissing forever. You need to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then you're gonna keep going until there's absolutely no more air. Now keep hissing, and when you're doing that, you wanna also make sure that your diaphragm stays expanded as much as possible, okay? And try to keep it, don't create tension, but try to maintain that strength and that support in that hiss. Sometimes what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel like the air is not going out fast enough for you. You're going to want to let it out faster, which is why I said you need to work on that consistent amount coming out, that airflow, okay? This is a great exercise to do that will help strengthen your breathing. You can do it while you're doing the dishes, while you're folding the laundry, while driving in the car, if you go anywhere these days. Well, now things are open, so, you know, in Ontario anyways, we have a little more freedom, okay? So let's do one more. Take a deep breath in, and hiss high pitch. And you don't want to, at the very end, be like this and get rid of all your air either, right? Because sometimes we do that because it's like, it's almost like we're holding our breath, but we're not holding our breath because we're letting it go, right? We're letting it go, we're letting it go. We're creating that muscle memory. We're strengthening those muscles that we need for singing. And I know a lot of us haven't been doing as much singing, so don't feel bad. Just try to work in some breathing exercises in a day. You know, if you can do 3 minutes, if you can do 1 minute, you know, that's going to help you when we get back to singing. That's going to help you so much. So just focus on the breathing. And then when it comes to singing, which we're going to get to in a second, you just, you know, it's that constant airflow. You just want the airflow. So let's try this next one. It's a bubble. It's an unpitched bubble. A lot of us want to go and make a sound when we bubble. This is an unpitched bubble. And again, you're going to focus on that airflow. So unpitched, it's just inhale and exhale on a bubble as long as you can. So here we go. Inhale. Take a breath when you need to, just keep it going. The unpitched, so you, again, we're working our diaphragm here because we're working our breathing skills. So when you are unpitched too, some other things you could do to help the control is kind of do like a crescendo where you turn up the air, you turn up the fan, and then you turn it down again. So it would be more like, okay, and that's a really good one too, to keep that same pressure as you're getting loud or have more air and less air. And those are all unpitched, okay? So now we're gonna move to phonation. Phonation is a result of when the air passes through your vocal cords, folds in your larynx, and it causes them to vibrate, which creates sound. So I have several exercises, and this is a little picture of me on a rainbow. The rainbow is your air. That's your visualization of your air. And me, I'm the tone that's riding your air. Aren't you all glad for that visualization? Me riding your airflow. That's right. Okay. So we're going to start with humming. Whenever I do these type of vocal warm-ups, vocal exercises, I don't ever practice my music when I'm doing these. This is for practicing vocal production. Okay, so I usually keep them pretty much the same because you're focusing on different things. So we're going to just start with a descending 5-note scale. We'll start here on an M. So when you do that, just make sure that you've created some space in your mouth, right? You want to make sure your face is pleasant and that there's a little bit of a lift. Like you're humming to a little child. Here we go. Make sure everything's relaxed. Okay, sorry. I have clearly a frog in my throat. It is still morning. All right, well, this next one, the lip trill, will definitely get any gunk off of your vocal cords. All right, when you are doing a lip trill, there are alternatives which work. I always say with a lip trill, the embouchure, if you've ever played an instrument, you know embouchure is kind of position of your mouth. You want to make sure that it's an embouchure, it's not too tight and it's not too loose. So you'll get rid of your air all of a sudden. If it's too tight, you can't bubble your lips, right? So you want it to be a little bit loose and you want to keep the control kind of in the center, the airflow in the center of your lips. Okay, so you just want to make sure that you have that. Now, if you can't trill, there are other things that you can do. Some people say touching your nose helps you trill. Some people will put their hands on their mouth, right? Just to help keep that focus. If you can't do any of that, you can do a V sound. Or you can do a trill, tongue trill. All right, whichever way is totally fine. We're going to start with happy birthday. I'm going to sing it while you bubble it, okay? We're going to start there on a bubble or whatever. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. So when you're bubbling and you go to take that breath, make sure it's that proper breath. You want to make sure it's a diaphragm breath, okay? I shouldn't see any shoulders go happy, happy, right? And the same thing with this bubble. You want it to be a consistent airflow. So when I go to that high note, I don't go and change my phonation, right? I keep it all the same. So we're going to try it now on You Are My Sunshine. You, here we go, I'll sing, you bubble. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy, skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. All right. So, and always, you know, we get lots of nose tickling when we do those, but bubbling is also great to break up any tension in the face as well. It's nice and easy on the vocal cords. So if you're having a rough morning, maybe you didn't get enough sleep or you got to get up really early, have a warm drink and do a lot of bubbling.